What's going on, Colts Nation? I appreciate you joining me for another video where today we're going to have an update on some of the moves that the Colts are making. One which I definitely did not see coming. I got to admit that I'm wrong, and we'll get to that. But this is where we're at today, okay? And these are moves that we expected. We have activated defensive tackle DeForest Buckner and linebacker Cameron McGrone from the IR. But in turn, we have now placed linebacker Jalen Carley's on the IR. Hopefully he doesn't miss a whole lot of time. He's been good for us this season in the limited role that he has. Obviously, we play a lot of nickel. And when you're playing nickel, you only usually have two linebackers and an extra corner. So not a whole lot of room there for Carley's, but for what it's worth, he's played good for us this year. Hopefully he's able to get back, and it'll be interesting to see how we play. Does Grant Stewart get on the field more, or do we just continue to run the typical nickel and we see a whole lot of our base nickel, right? When you have Zaire Franklin, EJ Speed, Kenny Moore as those guys there in the middle of that defense. It'll be interesting to see what happens there. But again, Jalen Carley's is going to be on the IR. DeForest Buckner, Cameron McGrone getting taken off the IR. And in a surprising, and I mean surprising move, and maybe not surprising for other people, but Evan Hull has been waived. Running back Evan Hull. He's somebody that I had so much faith in him that I picked him up for my dynasty team. He's on my taxi squad, which is somebody that's not going to play this year for me, but somebody that I thought could be a valuable running back too. And if he had to step into a starter role, if JT got hurt, he'd be able to step in and make plays. That just didn't happen, right? My prediction before the season was that Evan Hull was going to be running back too. Now, I think it's interesting that Evan Hull is not here, but Trey Sermon is. And I think Trey Sermon has had some good runs, but Trey Sermon's the kind of guy, if the offensive line doesn't open up massive holes, and if Anthony Richardson isn't there to take attention away from defenders, then Trey Sermon probably not getting a whole lot. You can tell he's just a little slower than I'd like to see from the running back position. And I honestly thought Evan Hull could be running back too. Now, obviously, Tyler Goodson, I was wrong about him. He's made some plays. He's looked pretty good. He looked explosive in different parts last year. He's looked explosive in different parts of this year. So, Tyler Goodson, still going to be on the team, but we still have Evan Hull being waived. It'll be interesting to see what happens there, right? We've seen Spencer Schrader every week, right? Gets picked up by Colts, gets let go by Colts. So maybe that ends up happening with Evan Hull. Maybe we move some things around and he's able to come back. I don't know. I think that's just me not wanting to be completely wrong talking right there, but unfortunately, Evan Hull has been waived. And then the other move, we have also elevated cornerback Kelvin Joseph to the active roster from the practice squad for the Houston game. So Kelvin Joseph getting the move up, which is why I think we're just going to keep the base nickel, right? You bring in an extra corner from the practice squad, stay in base nickel, and have an extra corner just in case you need it. That's what that tells me. And then another update here from the Colts, injury update. Thanks to the support on this channel, we now have our first partnership with Green Gridiron. And as you can see here on the site, you can go through, they have helmets for both pro and college. You can go through, look at helmets and build your own. You can go through and get mini helmets and be able to get your own mini helmet and build it the way you want. Now, you can also go ahead and search, as we do here, Colts helmets, looking through the Colts helmets, and they have all the different options, many different options, a speed helmet, different Rydell's, regular helmets. They also have the new black helmets that the Colts wear for the Indiana Knights jerseys, and there's also this other style that is black with the blue horseshoe on it. Matte black, looks really good. Whether you want something for yourself or for somebody you love, you can get it on Green Gridiron. Okay, and the one that I got, I started with a mini helmet, and this one coming with the visor on it. And I might even one day go ahead and buy a blue face mask just to put on it. Who knows? I might customize this thing myself, get a different chin strap. You can get chin straps. Whatever you want, you can build it how you want it. And getting one of these helmets, this thing looks sick. I know it's the mini version. You're used to seeing this one. We're going to kick this one off, and we'll probably still have that one in the videos, but Green Gridiron, that is the new partnership on the channel. Again, I appreciate you guys so much for all the support that you guys show here. Obviously, Lion Syndicate, Derek over there helping out get the partnership here. He's a leader of the syndicate, but here we have, again, really nice helmet. Give you guys a good view here of this, the blue visor on the front. I mean, this thing is sick, man. Really enjoy this. I plan to get more as time goes on through Green Gridiron. Hope to be able to do a giveaway at some point for Green Gridiron. So make sure you're subscribed to the channel, have those notifications turned on. Again, I appreciate you guys so much for all your continued support. Now let's get back to the more of a continuation of what we were just talking about. But DeForest Buckner, ankle, and linebacker Cameron McGrone, elbow, have been activated from the IR, and their questionable designations have been listed or lifted for Indy versus Houston. So the only two people we had listed as questionable, no longer questionable. We have Gennard Avery and Jalen Carley's are out. Carley's on the IR, so he's not going to be popping up on the injury report anymore. Gennard Avery has missed the last couple games. Would expect with him not going on the IR, is probably going to be the last game that he ends up missing. But we do have a couple of guys that were questionable, no longer questionable. So for what it's worth, not really anything crazy in terms of the injury report, but the big surprise here, Evan Hull has been waived. Very unfortunate for the young man, and I expect him to land on his feet somewhere, right? He's not going to go without getting picked up from somebody. I just feel like with what he brings and what he can bring as a pass catching back, number 2 or number 3 back, and being part of a rotation in a committee somewhere, right? We're a team that ideally, with Jonathan Taylor's healthy, we're leaning on him. So we're not really so much of a committee approach here, right? The committee is Anthony Richardson and Jonathan Taylor. So I think right now, with Jonathan Taylor coming back, there's just not really room for Evan Hull. And they're obviously thinking about doing some different things. So it'll be interesting to see where does the next guy come, right? You have Kelvin Joseph getting lifted to the active roster. Both Evan Hull being released from the practice squad. Who's going to come back, right? Do they release Evan Hull and bring back Spencer Schrader so that Spencer Schrader is just on the practice squad and stops going, on the team, off the team, right? Or do they, again, continue to just bring back Evan Hull and release him? And how is that going to work? Is it all a numbers game? Is releasing Evan Hull just a numbers game and trying to play with the cap, right? With the trade deadline coming up, we know Chris Ballard not likely to do anything. As you guys love to tell me when I do trade videos, it's like I don't know who Chris Ballard is. Thanks for letting me know. I'm just trying to have a discussion about trades, but nonetheless, maybe that does mean something is going to happen, right? Keeping roster flexibility, playing the numbers game, trying to get as much money as you possibly can. Maybe that's the case. I don't know. But of course, any updates that happen, I'll let you guys know. Of course, we'll be live tomorrow during the game. Even if you're watching the game, man, I don't know who the commentators are, but if you feel like muting that thing, coming over to the channel, I do play-by-play here on this channel. So come over, hang out. We have a good time, especially people from different states. But if you're in Indiana, love for you to come hang out. So of course, make sure you're subscribed with notifications on so you get notified when we drop any more content or whenever we do go live for things like the game. Love to have you guys here no matter what the case is. But of course, appreciate you stopping by for another video. And as always, take care of yourself, take care of each other, and go Colts.